Insurance.
Welcome back to Hannity. So over the weekend, our Hannity camera crew was banned from a Muslim Stand with the Prophet rally in Texas, but we did get reactions from the protesters outside. Take a look.
This is America. You want to practice your religion? Wonderful. That's what America's all about. But do not come here and then wanting to change our laws to Sharia law. It will not happen.
I think mostly they're angry and misguided. It would be one of, come and meet us. Perhaps you'll find that we're not as dangerous as you think.
The keynote speaker was an unindicted co-conspirator of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing.
When you've got two keynote speakers that are the kind of people that they are, really what they're doing is recruiting. Come on, let's face it.
You are the minority. The majority of the people love Islam and they support Islam. I love this country because I felt the love from everyone, Muslim and non-Muslim.
And on Friday, we sent our cameras to Duke University for their first public Muslim call to prayer. Here's what happened.
I think it's a great thing that they're responding, that they're still doing the worshipping. I wish that it had still happened in the chapel. I think it's a pity that we had these pressures.
I disagree, because I don't believe in the religion of Islam. I think a lot of people don't understand it, and that's why they're behind it, but I think if they knew what Islam is really about, they wouldn't be here.
Duke isn't a Christian community. We have people of all faiths here, and so the freedom to pray or a call to prayer, I didn't see how it would affect the campus negatively.
Here with reaction from the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, Indianapolis area Imam Mohammed Sadiq. Imam, do you really think, in light of what happened in Paris, that the time to institute in front of a Christian chapel the Muslim call to prayer? And is this really the time, after what happened in the name of the Prophet, quote, we've avenged the Prophet in Paris, that that's the time for a Stand with the Prophet rally? Or is that kind of an in-your-face attack by people that saying, yeah, we kind of agree with what happened in Paris?
With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I'm going to shock you, Sean. I agree with you 100%. I don't think this was the wise time to do that.
Oh, my goodness. I'm coming home, Edith. I'm coming home, Elizabeth. Sorry. I don't think it was either. And it seems to me, Dr. Jasser, that there's an attempt. Yeah, you threw me off. You threw me off.
I knew that would throw you.
But it seems like there's an in-your-face quality to this Stand with the Prophet now. That they have in the rally. Similarly, we don't want to offend people, so let's have a Muslim call to prayer at a top university in the country.
Sean, it's exactly what the Islamists do. They find what makes them unique as Muslims, then demand that right so that they can rally their troops, rally the Islamists. So instead of standing with America, standing with those who are for freedom and liberty, they want to stand with the Prophet. They want to have a call to prayer. It's no different than the Ground Zero Mosque effort. It was inappropriate, it was at the wrong place, wrong time, and yet they wanted to do it to make a point and exploit our freedoms so that they separate Muslims out of society as a separate group rather than being first as Americans, and then say that, you know what, we're going to lead the war against radical Islam, against political Islam. And I love to hear what the Imam just said, but unfortunately, offline, when he's not on camera, he's not leading movements to counter the ideology.
Look, let me tell you, look, Dr. Jasser, what you see is what you get. I don't have two faces. If I believe something, I tell you. If I don't believe something, I tell you. I'm saying it wasn't wise, just like during Reconstruction. It wasn't wise that one day the slave master's in charge and then the next day the slave's in charge. That was an unwise move, and that has put us at odds in America for a long while. And it just wasn't wise.
Imam, this is important. Where's the stand against radical Islamists that are hijacking our religion march? Where's that march? I want to see that one.
Well, I wouldn't put it in your terms, Sean. But if you would take some time and get on an airplane and come to Indianapolis on the 21st, which is next Wednesday.
Are you going to have a stand against radical Islamists?
We're having a stand against all radical anything that is
why don't we,
working
but the
against our
world is
country and
fighting
working
radical
against the good
Islam.
of all
No,
human.
I want a very specific rally, a stand against radical Islamists that are hijacking your religion. Let's have that rally. I want that one.
Sean, through interpretation, yeah, but everyone's not going to arrive at that definition the way you have arrived at it. But the concept is there.
But you do agree that
there.
You do agree that radical Islamists kill in the name of your prophet, right?
Radical people who use the name Islam. I mean, you can't call them Islamists or Muslims.
Well,
they don't even get into the ballgame with Islam.
They kill in the name of Allah, and what they did in Paris was to avenge the prophet. They said so.
And there's
Dr. Jasser.
And Sean, there's a refusal, there's a clear refusal of our leadership and also of the silent majority of Muslims who don't agree with this Islamist movement, but yet are quiet because they don't want to address the bigger global problem seen in every Muslim majority country of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, where it's not just about Islamophobia, as they call it in France or in America. They want to control what is Islam inside Saudi Arabia and Iran and elsewhere, and they're cowardly not approaching the leadership because they're afraid of being targeted, and the Imam needs to lead that.
Dr. Jasser, take your medicine, Dr. Jasser.
Take your medicine? Why are you attacking him?
I'm not attacking him. I'm saying Dr.
He's the blasphemy police. Here come the blasphemy police, Imam Sadiq. America, there he is.
Well,
do you think Dr. Jasser sounds like an apostate?
No. I think Dr. Jasser sounds like a person who doesn't understand his religion.
What is the penalty if Dr. Jasser wanted to become a Christian and join my faith? What is the penalty under Islam for that?
I would celebrate.
You would celebrate. But the
in
penalty...
Saudi Arabia? Would you do that in Saudi Arabia or in Iran or in Afghanistan?
Well, I don't live there, Dr. Jasser. I live in America.
Well, that's your problem. This is a Muslim problem, and until American Muslims who live in a laboratory of freedom start fixing it, you can't say, oh, that's Saudi Arabia.
Follow Imam Muhammad's logical way of following this thing, and we'll be successful.